The Fort Erie Legion opened their doors recently and provided us with a history lesson that was given by two of their members. 88-year-old John Marrs and 107-year-old Burdette Sisler looked back on their time in service and shared their perspective on war and remembrance. What kind of importance has the Legion played in both of your lives?
Well, I didn't join the Legion while I was working out on a regular job. Not until I retired. I thought, now I got some time now, I can do something at the Legion. I was always busy outside. But, I've only been on there for 30 years now, so that's a good long time to be a member of one establishment. It's good fellowship, and we do good work for the veterans and for the town.
John Marrs grew up in Scotland and as a child witnessed the devastation of World War II.
I was a child, a 5-year-old, when World War II started, and I was in the shelters just outside Glasgow when the German squadrons flew over Glasgow in an attempt to bomb the shipyards, but they missed the shipyards and hit the town, and I can remember that.
Years later, he was conscripted and would soon find himself stationed at the Suez Canal for 18 months.
So I did my national service, and I did my training in England with the Royal Army Service Corps, and when my training was over, they shipped me out to the Suez, to Egypt, and I spent 18.5 months there. And when I came back, nothing had changed. You couldn't buy a car or a bicycle or anything like that because Britain had to export to live. And they're rebuilding the homes and whatnot. And I said to my dad, I'm going to Canada.
Burdette got married on the very day that England declared war in 1939. 4 years later, he enlisted.
All my buddies I went to school with, some of them were working with me, and they were all going out to the war. And pretty soon I was put the last one that I had gone to school, the gang that I used to go to school with. So about 1942, I decided, well, better go and see if I can join my buddies.
After basic training in New Brunswick, Burdette would fill several roles. The regular changing of positions would actually work against his goal of getting closer to the action. When the war in Europe ended, there was still a chance for him to get overseas, but it wasn't to be.
Well, before the war was over, they wanted volunteers to stay in and go to Japan.
Oh, yeah.
Would you believe that I volunteered for that? I got all the shots. I got we might say, a magazine explaining the Japanese language, pictures of all the different like generals and sergeants, and they even gave me a bill of Japanese money to use in the Philippines. So there I'm all set to go over there, but somebody dropped a bomb someplace. Remember that bomb? So they canceled. So now, well, I said, I'm no more good around here. I got everything finished up pretty well. There's no more wars anywhere to go. So I put in for my discharge.
If you had to go back, would you do it again? Would you join?
I think I would, yeah.
I think that was the thing they had to do. When the country needed you, you go. You know, there's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. You're on your way out. You know, you go.
I think we should remember all those other fellows that didn't make it back. And, and I talked to quite a few of them. And those that traveled up through Italy, they didn't have an easy time. Plowing up from Sicily right up through, fighting Nazis all the way back to the Elbe. That's a sad story. I don't know why we have to blow people up to find out what the answer is to, well, who's going to be what.
Thank you, John and Burdette, for your service and for sharing your time with us, lest we forget. In Niagara, you're watching The Source on your TV.